He asked me if they could pick up this show, pick up Night Talk for national syndication starting Monday night. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there are probably wondering why the corporate guys down at Metroscan would want someone like me. A big mouth. Someone who isn't afraid to tell it like it is, running his mouth on all those stations. I'll tell you why. Money. Advertising dollars, ratings.
It's amazing. It's a full circle experience for me. I cut my teeth on Eric Bogosian's work in college, and I'm a huge admirer. And I had never had any idea that A, Eric would be on Broadway, and B, that I would be with him. And it's a huge honor. I'm really thrilled.
I feel that a lot of it is really, it was a sort of a shoot from the hip play that just kind of came out, and sometimes I think that's a very good thing, and I'm very pleased that it's still around.
I hadn't read it in a while when I went in for it, when I went to audition for it, and I had the same reaction that the producers had, which was it could have been written yesterday, and that's the reason why I think there is such interest in it now.
I think it's an incredibly alive play that says that everything that was going on 20 years ago is still going on, and unfortunately sort of worse. He sort of predicts sort of the downfall of culture, of a popular culture, and unfortunately 20 years later we're still getting the same sort of, the internet, the more and more media has not made it any more immediate. You know, if anything, it's made it more desperate.
We did a whole show in, get this, Armenian. Another time, we found this record with a kind of amazing skip on it, just left it on. And there's this record going round and round and round, and the station manager's pounding on the studio door. They actually had to take the door off its hinges just to stop the record. Barry didn't get fired. He got a raise.
It works so beautifully on a couple of different levels. One, I think, is sort of like an examination of our sort of the mass media and the way, you know, we make idols out of our media heroes, and for better and for worse. But also just as a sort of as a character study of this man who's just like on a fast train to a breakdown. I mean, it's the psychology of the play is just really beautiful.
I love Barry because he doesn't say die. He just keeps going, and he wants to be totally engaged. I think it's a sort of a challenge for all of us, especially in the mass media. There's sort of like some attempted truth, and yet there's always ratings that have to be kept in mind.
I know this doesn't seem right, but it's true. He's an incredibly compassionate character. He's really, really empathic person. I think that part of the arc of the play is about him filling up gradually with all of the insanity and absorbing all of the calls that he gets over the course of the hour-long evening program.
Your own lives have become your entertainment. Monday night, millions of people will be listening to this show, and you have nothing to say, nothing to talk about. Marvelous technology is at our disposal, and rather than reaching up for new heights, you want to see how far down we can go, how deep into the muck we can immerse ourselves. What do you want to talk about? Baseball scores, your pets, orgasms, you're pathetic.
I think it's really different than what the sort of original sort of Broadway audience has been used to. And the only reason I say that, you know, we've had a bunch of matinee performances, and you know, there are a lot of people out there that are very critical. They've seen a lot of shows. They know what they want to see. And I think this play offers a big sort of difference and a different perspective.
I mean, I had no idea that we would get a response like that. I mean, I knew it was funny, but I didn't know the laughs were that big. I didn't know they were that frequent. I didn't know the audience was that reactive to the show, and they're really reactive to it. So I'm thrilled.
Well, what I love about it is that, you know, we have a pretty traditional Broadway audience that comes to see our show, for which we're extremely grateful. And then we have this whole group of other people who are coming. I sense there are a lot of people in the crowd that haven't been to a Broadway show before, but there's something about this one that intrigues them. And so they come, and that's very exciting.
We went to this diner he likes, and I watched him eat a bacon cheeseburger. And he was talking about something. What was it? Oh, yeah. Euthanasia. I remember, because the whole time he's going on, I'm thinking, this guy really knows how to sweet talk a girl.
Well, I think Liev's just simply one of the greatest actors working in the theater today, and he just has this fierceness. He's got a command of language that he brings to Shakespeare, but he also brings to modern plays. And there's just a sort of, you like him, you find him incredibly likable. But at the same time, he's got this ferocity and this energy that is just extraordinary on stage.
You get such intensity from Liev on stage. He's just the consummate pro, you know, and the depth of his performance, the humanity of it, it's very, very inspiring.
I honestly think at the end of my career, which might be September, that I will look upon working with him as he will be one of the top 5 people I will have ever worked with in my life, and I'm allowing for 4 others between now and when I die. So it's been a privilege.